Hello, Mom and Dad Meet World. So today I want to talk to you about this guy right here. This is the Otherworld Computing Express 1M2 drive right here. And I've got this paired with a Crucial P3 Plus NVMe 4TB drive that is already mounted inside this enclosure. And I want to talk to you about how it's been with the M4 Mac Mini. And just to get things right up front is it's been absolutely great. It's been phenomenal. It's been fast. It's been very, very reliable, which is probably the most important part. And when I say fast, you can edit, or I've been able to edit directly off of the drive hooked up to one of the back Thunderbolt 4 USB-C 4 ports on the back of the M4 Mac Mini. So the Mac Mini we're talking about, this is a base model with the exception of storage. So 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage, 10 CPU cores, 10 GPU cores. Yes, that is the baseline for the Mac Mini, which is quite phenomenal. And I've been using that again with this Otherworld Computing OWC Express 1M2, and it's been very, very great. It's been reliable. So the other thing I've been using is this drive right here. This is just a external hard drive. This is a solid state drive, but it's just a 1 terabyte Western Digital drive, very inexpensive drive that I've been putting all of our finished YouTube videos on. And it's been connected to the M4 Mac Mini also. So in comparison to this is mainly just storage, where this is storage plus I actually work off of the drive. We have all of our video files for our projects on this drive right here. And I've also been putting them on this right here, our Samsung. This is our T9. This is an already full Samsung T7, and this is an already full Western Digital drive right here. You can see it's also very small. So with these three drives right here, I've not had any actual disconnect issues. This is what I did have hooked up to our M2 Mac Mini. At the time we had a base configuration M2 Mac Mini with 256 gigs of storage and 8 gigabytes of memory. So with this, we've got the M4 with 16 and 512, and I've been using this alone right here because this is what I've been editing off of. This is just our workflow for right now. With the other two drives, with this T7 and this Western Digital drive right here, I don't actually have these hooked up because these are basically used as cold storage for our video files, our projects that I have had, but they are more or less not usable right now. I'm looking to eventually have a 16 to 20 terabyte, more or less just a storage drive for cold storage. And I've been looking at a big Western Digital drive, but I'm only hesitant on that because I've seen some of the reviews and some of them are dead or dead on arrival or don't last a long time. If I do go for that route, I may end up keeping these for what they are and just have redundant storage. So that's what I think I will do, just in case that drive ever does fail. But for this here, it's just been super duper reliable. You can see I've got it attached with their provided USB 4 cable, and I've not had any issues with the drive so far, and that's been good. And so I've been keeping the computer on it's been on for 4 or 5 days right now, ever since I've actually used it. This is the only time it's actually gone off because I've disconnected a drive to make this video to show you that it does work and does work really well. So if you are curious about the size, because I know I've been holding it up here, but you can see it is quite a bit bigger. It is quite a bit thicker. You can see these fins right here, these metal fins on this heatsink. That's why this dissipates heat so well. And I know other people have asked how come I didn't go with a cheaper option. Well, this right here, this does get quite warm. It gets hot because it does have this rubber surround. It doesn't have this metal right here that you do see on this. And if you take a look at both of these, I would rather take this one with me, which is what I do. This is what I have in our laptop bag, where I will offload our footage from my cameras right here. And that's exactly what I do. And then I'll eventually put it back on here. And most likely I'll either take the footage from here, offload it to this drive, work off of this drive, or I'll copy the footage directly to our MacBook Pro and work off that drive. I'm not saying I wouldn't feel comfortable working off of this drive, but this is strictly used as a portable drive, as our T7 was. And you can see these are very, very similar in size. They're both rubberized, which I do like because I don't want these to get banged up. Where you can see this right here, this is not really meant to be portable. Yes, you can 100% take it with you because it's just this form factor. You don't need any other power supply. It is bus powered, so powered by the USB-C port itself. But I do like having these right here. These are just nicer to take with you. They're just more portable, and you can see here that the thickness of these two is almost the same as the thickness on this one drive, and it is just much bigger for this particular OWC Express 1M2. But it's been phenomenal for keeping it hooked up to our desktop, and it's been nice and cool. As I said, it's been on. The Mac goes to sleep after a certain amount of time, and then I do wake it up, not by coming in here and physically waking up, but I do wake it up by going out to our computer. If we need to access files off of here, I've got sharing enabled, so it wakes up for the network access and then takes just a second or two to reconnect the drive. But the drive is never actually disconnected. I never get that error on the top right hand of the screen that does pop up saying, hey, a drive's been ejected improperly, make sure you eject it, which we all should do. But I've never gotten the error from this one. I tried to do the same thing with this, and then as soon as I did come in here, I saw the error on the top saying this drive has been ejected improperly, which I don't know why this one disconnects, but that is one of the reasons too why I opted to go with this particular drive, because you've got heating, or excuse me, you've got lack of heating, you've got cooling with these fins, plus a lot of people said this does not disconnect when you don't want it to, which is great. I just did not want to keep these drives hooked up or get another one of these drives hooked up and then have an issue with that. Plus, I think this is going to be a tad bit faster than these drives, and the difference, so these are about $300 or so for the 4 terabyte with the T9, where the enclosure was $120, and then the crucial P3 Plus itself was another $230. So that's about $50 difference, but faster. I know I'm going to keep it on the desk. It is portable if I need it to, and it does stay cool, which is very, very important. And that's why I chose to get one of these drives right here and have it hooked up to the computer pretty much full time and on pretty much all the time. But I just want to give you my experience with how the drive has been. It's been reliable, it's been fast, I've been able to edit off of it. So we've seen other drives that have been Thunderbolt, they've been USB-C 4, they match the speed of this particular enclosure, but I wasn't familiar with how they would connect or disconnect, or if I get any of those weird issues. Plus, what I've read is the cooling has just been better because of the fins and the design on this particular drive. So with that combination, I thought it was worth the extra $50 as opposed to going with another 4 terabyte Samsung T9. And if I wanted to in the future, I could always replace the SSD with something else and then just keep the enclosure. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I've made somewhat sense and the reason why I chose this particular enclosure right here, Otherworld Computing. Yes, I finally said it right, OWC, with this Crucial P3 Plus. They've both been reliable. It's been fast so far, but only had it for a week, but it's been hooked up 24/7 to the Mac Mini that I just now turned off. And I turned it off also because I'm trying to finally mount a second Thunderbolt display. Anyways, hopefully you've liked this video. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all helps out our channel. And thanks for watching. Till next time, bye for now.